This is a mock interview conducted by ForumIAS Academy at New Delhi. The interview panel includes eminent academicians, retired bureaucrats, and other luminaries. The objective of the program is to acquaint the candidate with the format and expectations of the personality test conducted by UPSC.
Morning, Shivang.
Morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
Morning. Please come. Please sit down.
Thank you very much, sir.
So, Shivang, you are from Sambhal, Uttar Pradesh, Commerce and Accountancy. Okay.
Sir.
Talk to us about you as a person.
Sir, I am Shivang Rastogi. As you know, I belong from Sambhal district of Uttar Pradesh. I have done my schooling from there, and afterwards I have moved to Delhi University for higher education.
More about your personality.
Okay, sir. Sir, as far as my hobbies are concerned, I like to play table tennis. I usually do jogging along with some collecting litter, that is called plugging. And I also collect some movie quotes and dialogues. As a person, sir, I believe I am a quite dynamic person who have a lot of things to do for the future.
Okay. And what would others who know you well describe you in one word?
So my friends call me Mr. Reliable person.
Okay. So, and what is the reliability quotient in you?
I take the responsibility. Whenever I take the responsibility, I do try to adhere them very sincerely.
Why is plugging of interest to you? And what trash did you last pick up?
Sir, I do plugging since my school days.
Okay.
But recently it has been fashionized as a word plugging. So whenever I go to ground, I collect some litter from there. Nowadays, whenever I do jogging in the park, so I collect plastic bottles, wrappers, and some metallic content.
So, and do you also segregate them or you throw it in one garbage bin?
Sir, sometimes I try to segregate them, but it's not always possible because of the condition of the waste. So I just put them in the dustbin.
Okay. Sambhal is also known as one of the largest producers of one particular item. Are you aware of it?
Yes, sir. Sir, it is menthol oil, sir.
Okay. And what are the medicinal properties of menthol?
Sir, menthol has a very soothing effects to the mind. It helps to relieve a bit of pain in the mouth and other stuff. So, with limited knowledge, I know about it, sir.
So you've done OB.
Yes, sir.
What are the main elements of organizational behavior?
Sir,
Give us 4 main elements of organizational behavior.
Sir, majorly organizational behavior includes leadership, motivation, conflict management, change management. So these 4 areas we probably deal with.
Okay. How would you say emotions and moods are same or are they different?
Sir, emotions and moods are quite different, sir.
Okay, please explain.
Sir, mood refers to a very small, it's a state of mind for a very small period of time.
Is it a subset of emotion?
I think so, sir. I'm not very sure of it, sir, but I do think it would be a subset of emotions.
So how would you describe somebody when you say he is an emotional person or he is a moody person?
Sir, mood varies according to the situation, according to the one's inner spirits. However, emotions, it's a reliable state of mind, sir. Generally, emotions, a person who is very emotional remains emotional most of their time.
So you also come across non-emotional people?
So there are certain people
How would you describe such a non-emotional person? How would you gauge by a look and say this person is not emotional?
Sir, there
Any
are
parameters?
So there are emotions in every person. However, the degree varies. So I think the people who have less emotions are very ruthless in their approach, whether it's about achieving their aims or it's about the conduct they have in the public. So they show less empathy, sympathy towards the public. They are less concerned about the day-to-day affairs and social outlook about things.
One of the candidates, have you done a job in the past?
No, sir.
So how many attempts have you made?
This will be my fourth attempt, sir.
So how have you been spending your time? And what is your contribution to the society?
Sir, after my graduation, I have done masters in commerce, and so from that I am engaging my time. And apart from that, I was continuously preparing for UPSC. So my contribution towards society will be I will be a human asset, sir, a dependable human resource for the country who could contribute to the knowledge economy of the nation. And perhaps it's in a destiny, sir. I will be a good civil servant.
So all these years, your parents have been funding your preparation?
So partly my parents are funding, and I sometimes engage in freelancing work.
Like?
Sir, I give tuitions and I give some content writing stuff.
So you write for some magazine?
No, sir. I write for academic institutions.
Okay. So are you attached to any academic institution?
Presently, I am preparing for interview, sir. So I'm not.
In the past, have you?
Yes,
been
sir. I have been engaged, sir.
Where?
So I've been engaged in my hometown, sir.
And what inputs do you provide?
Sir, I provide the current updates towards the things, towards the curriculum that is there. Sir, basically, my interest lies in the areas of commerce and particularly economics of class 12th and beyond that. So I provide the upcoming things which are happening in the economy.
Thank you, Shivang. That is from my side.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Shivang. So you said you love quotes and dialogues, right?
Yes, sir.
Explain me one dialogue to me. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. And what is the relevance of this dialogue?
Okay, sir. Sir, there's a movie dialogue of Om Shanti Om, which I like very much. So the dialogue goes like, कहते हैं कि अगर किसी चीज़ को सारी शिद्दत से चाहो तो सारी कायनात तुम्हें उसे मिलाने की साजिश में लग जाती है, और ज़िंदगी के अंत में सब कुछ अच्छा होता है, और अगर अच्छा ना हो तो पिक्चर अभी बाकी है मेरे दोस्त. So this dialogue, sir, gives me a lot of motivations toward the life.
I asked you that I'm giving you one dialogue. Explain me that dialogue to me. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong.
Sorry, sir, I'm not able to understand.
Listen to the question
Yes,
carefully.
Yes.
So I'm giving you dialogue. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. Explain me this dialogue and what is the relevance of this dialogue.
Sir, there are certain mistakes that we have committed which are irreparable. So we cannot undo the mistakes or the things that we have made incorrect.
This dialogue is related to reliability. Now explain me.
Okay, sir. Sir, with my limited knowledge, as far as I can comprehend, it implies that once a trust is broken in a person's life.
You said you are a reliable person, right?
Yes, sir.
So this is the cornerstone of reliability. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong.
Okay, sir.
Read about it. So let's go to the next question. Explain me, why did this Silicon Valley Bank collapse?
Sir, because of the COVID-19 pandemic, there has been a spurt in the revenues of technology companies. So because of which the deposit the Silicon Valley has of the technology company increased manifold. However, sir, the investment which Silicon Valley committed in the government securities of US Federal Reserve is yielding very less returns. So because of this, there has been a mismatch in the revenues and the liabilities that Silicon Valley face. And now, since the situation has been normalized, so technological companies are withdrawing money from the Silicon Valley Bank, and it is not able to adhere to the commitments that it has. So because of which, asset
Read
liability.
about it. Since you have done commerce and accountancy, explain me, briefly in a simple term, what is macroeconomic and microeconomic policies.
Sir, macroeconomic policies relate to the overall GDP, overall country as a whole, while microeconomic policies are related to the individuals, producer, consumers, and small in the niche sectors of the economy.
Give two examples of one each of macro and micro level economic policies.
So macroeconomic policies involves the fiscal policy, the taxation part of the government, or the capital expenditure or revenue expenditure. And while microeconomic policies involves the inflation which is there, which is impacting a particular industry, or the, let's say, the price of a particular good rise, so the impact of it on a substitute goods. So these are the microeconomic things.
What is Quad?
Sir, Quad is the quadrilateral security dialogue, which involves 4 countries, including India, USA, Japan, and Australia, in order to provide a law-based and peaceful Indo-Pacific region.
Yeah, that's it from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Hello, Shivang.
Hello, sir.
Shivang, can you tell me the definition of fiscal deficit?
Sir, fiscal deficit refers to the excess of total expenditure of the government over the total receipt, except the borrowings.
Except the borrowings, very right. What is the fiscal deficit target of government this year?
I'm not sure about the exact number, but it is within the range of 5 and 6%.
Percentage
5
terms,
and 6%.
between 5 to 6 you are saying. Okay. And do you think that FRBM Act has been effective?
Sir, FRBM Act largely indicates the priorities of the government. So initial decade FRBM has been an effective tool to reduce the fiscal deficit targets. However, sir, because of certain eventualities because of which we could not adhere to the commitments of FRBM Act.
And what are the exceptions that are mentioned in the Act?
Sir, there are 2-3 exceptions. One is in case of national security or a war is there, so we can breach the clause of 0.5% of the GDP. And secondly, sir, if there is a famine sort of situation and the agriculture production dips largely, so in that case we can also breach the clause.
Reforms also, if any major reform undertaken?
Under FRBM Act?
Yes, if any major reform that leads to disruption, is that covered?
I'm not sure of it, sir.
Okay. Okay. Tell me, there was spectrum sale, right? 5G spectrum sale. Where will that appear in the budget?
Sir, that will be the capital receipt of the government.
Are you sure? Is that a capital receipt?
Yes, I'm not very sure, but I think so, sir.
Okay. Okay. Let's talk about disinvestment. The government had very ambitious targets over the last 5-6 years, but every year the target has been missed. Can you tell me what are the reasons why the government hasn't been able to match the target?
Sir, the PSU which the government want to disinvest, there has been a very lackadaisical response from the private sector to buy those PSUs because of 2-3 reasons, which involves the pressure of the labor union, sir. And
are you sure about the pressure of the labor unions?
Sir, the employees, conditions of the working condition of the employees need to be changed if PSU want to disinvestment.
Okay.
And secondly, sir, there has been issues with certain clause in the disinvestment of the PSUs regarding the debt the PSUs occur. So whether the debt will be taken by the investor or it will be held by the government. So these are the reasons.
Thank you. That's all. I'll pass on to the next one.
You said emotions are reliable. So tell me, are all emotions reliable?
So not all emotions are reliable, but there are certain emotions like empathy and love, concern. These emotions are quite reliable.
So tell me, what's the meaning of this quote? Compassion is an unstable emotion. If it does not translate into action, it withers.
Sir, the entire purpose of compassion is to do actions regarding.
Do you believe it is an unstable emotion?
Sir, it would be an unstable emotion if we do not act on the emotion itself. So we will forget that we had that sort of emotion at that point of time. So we tends to ignore the kind of emotion that has been generated at the moment.
Okay. Do you believe administration is your destiny?
I do believe,
You
sir.
do believe. So tell me the quote. A person's destiny is something you look back at afterwards, not something to be known in advance.
Sir, it implies that after at certain platform or after being successful, the destiny of the person could have been analyzed rather than knowing in advance.
मतलब कुछ हो जाएगा तब उसको बोलेंगे डेस्टिनी है.
Sir, it's a simplification of the word destiny, sir.
You see, you have also done management. So what comes to your mind when we say, okay, look, there's a bad manager going?
Sir, there are different connotations with it. If someone is calling someone a bad manager, I do think there might have been some issue with regarding to the integrity or the behavioral traits that manager has. So rather than the competence in the initial stages, sir.
Okay. How do you define success?
Sir, for me, success implies a consonance or congruence between a good career, good relationship with friends, families, and peers, and good health, sir. So the merger of all these things implies
Can
success to
you
me.
elaborate success through 4 pillars: dharma, arth, kam, moksha?
Okay, sir. Sir, at different, if a person have enjoyed all these things, all these dharmas at a particular moment of a life or particular stage of life, that will be termed as success. So during the initial,
Give me one example.
sir, during the initial years or the initial few decades of the life, a person should be involved in dharma or artha. And calm, sir, after having certain maturity in the life, after exploring all the 3 verticals, a person should strive for moksha or nirvana.
Will you say Yudhishthir was a successful man?
Sir, Yudhishthir has followed certain principles in his life. So I will call him Yudhishthir a successful man, sir. At the end of his life, he will be a successful man.
Thank you.